your mention of the Depression, the Dust Bowl, etc., it leads me to ask both of you gentlemen. We are in another depression, perhaps the worst since the Dust Bowl of the 30s, etc. Have both of you in your callings, ministries, seen, since the debacle, the economic, national, worldwide debacle, a market change in people coming to religion, coming to your two churches, etc.? An upswing on the number of people coming looking for solace and looking for connection with God. Has there been any change in the last, say, 4 or 5 years?
Go ahead, Jeff. I'm going to respond first.
I think initially,
yeah.
There seemed to be an upswing. There seemed to be interest more, even more people, that would. But I think it's leveled out.
Really?
But this is what I have seen, because coming from my experience, my passion is just I want to see our community get better,
Amen.
and I just want to see us to take responsibility. I have seen this huge desire among people of faith who maybe attended church for a while or attended religious functions, and I'm not talking just Christian faith. I'm talking other faiths in our community as well that are saying we've got to do something about this. Like we've got to it doesn't do a lot of good if it just stays in here. And it's actually the faith is kind of boring. It's not interested anymore if it's just staying inside and just attending and then leaving and then nothing changes throughout the week. But applying the faith in practical ways, I've seen a huge interest. I mean, obviously what I do, but I think so. The timing of this Lemon-Estel thing and the economy, it's not coincidental. I mean, I think this is, and I don't think it's a fad either, because I think our valley's always struggled in many ways. But certainly this has really, the government we can't just call the city to fix our, or call the police or think our schools are gonna, you know what, we've got to all step up. If we want to see our park cleaned up, why don't we just go out there? And so in many ways, I think that's been one of the best, now forgive me, but I think has been one of the best things that maybe could have happened to our area, although it's so hard. I'm not without a job right now, so it's easy for me to say that. But in many ways, I think if people have stepped up and they've taken more ownership and more pride in their town, we've got a long ways to go. But I've seen it's been a really healthy thing.
So from bad times comes good things.
I think
In
so.
terms of spirituality, because people losing, it's like human nature. When things are going fine, when the car's working, you don't really care how the car works. But when it breaks down, you go to your mechanic, what you're interested in. So it's the same thing with your life. If something goes awry, you lost your job. Now you go lose your house. Now your marriage is going into issues. Where am I going to turn?
I think the church has always been inclined to help the needy. I think that's always been the heart of the church, but I think Jeff's right on target in a new wave of that. And I really do have to say, Jeff, I think it is in large measure to generations younger than mine who have connected the compassion element of Christianity to Christianity, and in a way that older generations perhaps didn't, or as comprehensively. I think there's a broader grasp of that today than I ever have seen it. I mean, every ministerium I've ever been involved with has had some kind of program initiated in the community where the needy could get food in an emergency kind of situation, or they could get a night's stay in a hotel. There's always been that kind of provision, and even some churches taking it a little further to try to be a little bit more aggressive in that. And of course, we've had our gospel mission for forever, and I don't mean that in a critical way. I mean, it has been around a long time. But there is a level of awareness of responding to a compassion branch of Christianity, or expression, better word, expression of Christianity that I see today. And I really do think we have your generation and those younger than you to thank for that. You've made that connection, helped us to see that connection. We've championed other areas, and that has been an appropriate and a right thing as well. But I think you guys have raised that level for us to where it hasn't been before.
So let me ask both of you, in researching this topic for this Dan Speaks, and also my recent personal life, exploring different. I'm a Roman Catholic retired, but exploring other religions. And I'm focused. It still comes back to me when I've attended services in different churches, the Methodist Church here, and several other churches. It seems, and then following some of these parishioners, that they're taking their Sunday experience, and they're, unlike my generation with Roman Catholicism, not a criticism, it pretty much was Sunday morning mass, and then Sunday afternoon was Sunday afternoon until next Saturday for confession. It seems to me, I could be wrong, I could be hallucinating this, that folks are taking their religion, they're living their faith, whatever that sometimes bromide means, outside the four walls of that institution. And on Tuesday night, they're practicing it. And I don't know, is that an illusion, or what's your reaction to that?
I think that's certainly the hope and desire.
Right.
The way of Jesus is not just a Sunday, religion, but it's an everyday relationship, and it's living out the values, the things that he cares about, throughout the week. So caring for those who are in need, or mentoring, a child, or in living out, being the best dad, and the best mom to be. If you just do that, your kids look at that and it's such hypocrisy, to live and to sing and to whatever something, and then the rest of the week it doesn't connect. But there's certainly a tension. There's a struggle for all of us to do that. But I certainly see healthy, expressions of faith, healthy church families, right, where they have programs throughout the week and how to be a better parent and how to be in a smaller group. So you're not just looking at the back of someone's head on Sunday, but you're also looking at their face during the week where, hey, how's it really going? What are you struggling in life? So I think healthy churches are really trying to help people navigate through life, at the workplace and get out in the community, volunteering, and things like that.
I think Lee and I were talking earlier about the influence of the Jesus movement in the late 60s and early 70s. I think there was a real challenge at that point to avoid the kind of, my word, hypocrisy that would allow a person to be in church on Sunday, appear with all of the trappings of a fully devoted follower of Christ, only to then live a pretty dramatically different life through the course of the week. I think a lot of what happened in the hippie movement was a reaction against a broader-based hypocrisy that was present in the culture as a whole, that filtered down then into the church and how the church was living out its Christianity. Now, in my experience, there have always been the other expressions of faith throughout the midweek. We always had a midweek Bible study. We had a youth group that met. We had outreach activities that were always done. But I think Jeff brought something up that I think is a new development, and that's targeting areas like parenting, or Moms in Touch is a prayer focus. Moms is Mothers of Preschoolers is a way to help moms, and that is not necessarily just a spiritually focused group. It's broader than that. The reach of Mothers of Preschoolers is to minister to the moms who are locked into a situation of being with small children all day, all week long. And then there is a spiritual element to it that gets incorporated in as well. So I think that there is an integration of our faith into the more detailed areas of life that we're seeing now, that I didn't know as a young person growing up. But there was always a challenge that it wasn't just a Sunday morning thing in my experience. But I think it's much more diversified now and much more specifically targeted to help some of the unique areas that we have.
We're playing off each other. Two questions based on your words. And Pastor Jeff is of a different generation than we are.
Yes, thanks for pointing that out.
So do you think it's a generational thing? I have one daughter, Leanne alum Dowd, he's 19 going on 30. And I